Welcome back to the Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.
Say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world.
Welcome back to the show. 7:06 here in Central Arkansas. Joined in studio this hour with Laurie Lee, Senior Account Executive at Impact Management Group and Republican consultant. Laurie, great to have you here.
Good morning. Great to be here.
So much is going on in Washington, D.C. We had the new budget plan proposal outlined last night, getting some details on that. But more importantly, the overriding issue that has taken front and center stage is Obamacare and all the concerns and issues with sticker shock, with dropped policies. If you like your doctor, you can keep it. Used to have a period at the end of the sentence. Now, according to Ezekiel Emanuel, it is if you want to pay more for it. And the president all along has said, well, where the Republicans give me a plan that's better than that. If this is so bad, give me a plan that's better than that. And there have been plans. He just didn't like them. So he just closed the door on that. Well, Congressman Tim Griffin says, well, I've got some ideas I want to discuss with you about real health care reform, real alternatives to Obamacare. And here to talk about that, I'm joined with Congressman Tim Griffin. Congressman, great to have you here.
Good morning.
I'm glad.
How y'all doing?
Doing great. I'm glad you could join us. You sent out an invitation to the president and signed on with 33 House Republicans, and you have asked President Obama to sit down and have a meeting to discuss real health care reform. What kind of feedback have you gotten from him?
Well, we just sent it yesterday, but, I think the overriding question is, why does the president want to keep doing things the old way? And what I mean by that is, in Washington, we identify problems, and then we say, okay, which federal agency can fix that problem, right? Instead of bottom up, letting people make choices where they are and what's good for them, the president has this old top-down mentality where Washington will decide, and we'll just find the agencies up here, because they've got to be up here somewhere, right, that can fix the particular problem. Well, that's what they did with Obamacare. Instead of coming up with innovative solutions that leave the choices with the American people between them and their doctors, that let states innovate and do different things, what they did was they said, okay, let's get HHS, Health and Human Services, let's get the IRS,
right,
who's going to be enforcing a lot of it, and they're the best agencies to fix what's ailing America, right? But that's the old way of doing things. What we've seen is they're completely incompetent.
Right.
And in attempting to fix the healthcare problem for a percentage of Americans, they've screwed it up for everybody else.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
And that is the old, closed way of doing things. What we're saying is, look, we've got a lot of great new ideas. This is the new way of doing things. It's allowing people to make decisions for themselves. And let me give you a very specific example. We believe, and I believe, that the American people can figure out what policies they can afford and that they want to buy, right? And what we've seen over the last few months is that President Obama, through Obamacare, believes that he knows best.
Right.
What policy you should have, which policies you shouldn't have, what your policies should cost. And so a lot of Americans who made individual choices for years and got the policy they wanted at the price they wanted were then all of a sudden being told by the president, that's not the policy you need. You can't have that policy because Obamacare has different requirements. And, in fact, you can't pay that price.
Right. And that's, I think, one of the biggest frustrations with this is that, as you said, you made the key point, in an effort to help a few gain access to health care, they're disrupting the whole process for virtually everyone or the majority of people, and that is not what was promised. And what we're seeing is, and they're telling people, you're too stupid to pick out what's best for you, so we're going to pick out what's best for you. And
well, this is a pretty basic example, but you go out to eat somewhere and you get your plate, and it just looks perfect, and you're starving and you're ready to eat. but they left something off, right?
Right.
And you say to the waiter, hey, I order mashed potatoes, and they go, oh, okay. And instead of going and getting the mashed potatoes and fixing that, they take the entire plate from you. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, so you're going to bring that back in 5 minutes, it'll be cold, and you're going to rake something off my plate, put some, it's like, fix what's wrong. Don't screw up everything else.
Right. And
here's the good news. Here's the good news, Alice. These ideas that we have, a lot of them we've had for years, they deal with pre-existing conditions. They deal with young folks that want to stay on their parents' insurance, and in this economy, maybe you're having a hard time finding a job or whatever. They deal with those things without screwing the whole system up, messing the whole thing up. So the idea that it's Obamacare or nothing, Obamacare or go back to the way things were for everybody, that's a false choice. The reason you hear the Democrats talk about that, that's the only way they have any kind of political argument, is if they say, well, Obamacare's awful, but it's better than what we were doing. What we say is that's a false choice. You don't have to choose. You don't have to choose between the food you got on your plate and the mashed potatoes you ordered, right? You are able, with a lot of different innovative solutions, to keep the good, solid insurance that people have grown to love or want, and at the same time take care of the folks with pre-existing conditions, et cetera. You can do all of that without the employer mandate of Obamacare, without the individual mandate of Obamacare, without the disastrous website. You know, I don't know why they didn't just go to eBay and say, here, we'll pay you this. Can you make us a website? Instead, they have a penchant for just pouring money down the drain. I don't know how much, and I think about every state designed their own too, or a lot of the states did. I saw that we got $60 million in Arkansas. I don't know how much of that was for the website. Well, let me tell you, I don't know how to design websites, but you give me $60 million, I will go to school, I will learn it, and I will figure it out. Right?
I could do that and then some with $600 million in 3.5 years.
Go out of the people, you know.
I did for 300.
In my view, that healthcare.gov is a sideshow distraction from the real issues. What we're talking about. It's dropped policies. It is the sticker shock. It is what you're saying. And the key, one of the keys that you want to talk to the president about is patient-centered solutions to healthcare, which is not in existence with Obamacare.
That's right. And let me be real clear. I understand as long as there's a man, the President of the United States, with the last name of Obama, living in the White House, that he's not going to sign a repeal passed by us of Obamacare. I get that. But I would say a couple things. I understand that he's not going to do that as a technical matter because he's not going to sign something we passed to get rid of it. But let me tell you, if you want to know who's done more in Washington, D.C., single-handedly, some of it suspect legally, who's done more in Washington to repeal Obamacare? His name is President Obama. He has changed the law unilaterally,
right?
time and time again. Now, he signed, I think, 7 of our bills to change it, to fix this or that, where it's crushing small business, like on the 1099 form requirement. But you want to talk about changing Obamacare and repealing it? The President of the United States is the number one suspect on that. He's the repealer in chief.
Right.
It's unbelievable. So don't talk to me about not wanting to make significant changes. I'll wink at him and say, hey, we won't call it a repeal, but let's start talking about the alternatives, because the American people, it's not enough for them to know Obamacare is a disaster. We know that.
Right.
What they want to know is, okay, Republicans, you're up to bat. What ideas do you have? And it may not be time with this president to move a bill, but we need to be having a conversation with the American people about all the different ideas that were debated when Obamacare came around, and the Republican ideas, in my view, the sensible ideas were rejected, right? We need to be talking about those, and so that people are aware of that it's not a binary choice between Obamacare or nothing.
Right. Well, we appreciate your time this morning. We know you have an event to attend this morning. We appreciate your time and anxious to follow up and hear if you receive an RSVP to your grand invitation to the president.
We will let you know, and I told Greta last night she'd be one of the first to know, but maybe we can tell you both at once.
I would like that. I'm a big Greta fan. So, Congressman Griffin, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Laurie Lee right after this on The Alice Stewart Show.
When I count my blessings, I thank God I was an American child.
The Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.
American child.